Hi guys, it's Mary Ellen. In today's video, I'll be talking about different lists you can keep in your planner. So if you'd like to see that, stay tuned. I've always been a list maker my whole entire life. I used to make lists when I was a kid, even of like just dumb things like all the people's names I could think of in alphabetical order. Like I just used to make lists of everything, and I still make lists, obviously. So what I decided a little while ago, a couple months ago, I started this list book. And I do keep lists in my planner, but what I was finding was my big planner gets really thick, even with expander discs. So I wanted to take some lists out, and I decided that I would put them in a half sheet notebook and just keep it as like a list book. So I just want to go through some of the lists that I keep in this book, and your lists are probably gonna be different, but I'll talk to you about that as I go through. So I have this book. Well, first I'm using, it's actually this half sheet notebook, the stripes one, but I didn't like this cover as much as I liked the inside, so I just flipped it around. I organized it into categories. I have home, health, entertainment, travel, personal, and planner. Those are my categories. Your categories are going to be probably different, but this just gives you kind of an idea. Now, I do want to tell you that this is a work in progress. So I have some lists finished, but I have a whole bunch of ideas in the back of more lists to make. And I'm kind of doing it a little at a time because it's overwhelming to try to sit down and make a whole book of lists. So when I think of something like, oh, I wish I had that in a list, I'll just sit down and write out my list or start a list and then keep adding to it. So first I'll go through some of the lists that I have in here, and then I'll go through some other ideas of my future lists and maybe some lists that you can make. So the first list I have here is obviously home improvement. I don't know about you, but I always have ideas for my house, things that I want to buy or things that I want to improve upon and upgrade, and that's where what ideas I'm keeping here. So this will be something I refer to when I think, you know what, I gotta check and see what else I want to do to this house. If I have some extra money or something, then I'll go here and look at that. Then I have home maintenance. So I have when I last got the AC serviced, the furnace serviced. Actually, let me fill this out. The furnace service was, I think it was like in January. And then the last time I power washed, the filter changed. I have to look that up. I have that written down in the kitchen. And last time I got the dryer vent cleaned. I know there are more home maintenance things that you can add to this, but this is kind of all I've done so far. And I'll just, when I do this, I'll cross it out and write it in over here. Obviously, this isn't ideal. It's a very small piece of paper. I know that there are trackers you can make for home maintenance and all that. And what I want to mention, though, is there are trackers and big sheets I can make for all of these things. And sometimes I might have a big sheet made or one that I'm going to make that I'll decorate and make all pretty. But this is kind of just like a altogether one place to go to refer to if I need information. It's not pretty, it's just functional, and for me this is working so far. So next I have a section of decluttering. I'm working on organizing the house. As you know, my husband passed away, well, maybe you don't know. My husband passed away last year, and I am going through a whole bunch of stuff that he brought into this house from his place and stuff I brought into the house from my place, and it's just really overwhelming. So going through a lot of stuff. So it's taking a while. But here's some main things I want to focus on going forward. Okay, so I have a page of go-to meals. I obviously haven't added that many to this yet, but these are things we eat all the time. And so I want to keep adding to it so that if I'm just thinking like, what's for dinner? I don't know what to make for dinner, I can kind of look on here and just pick something. So I have a lot more to add to that. Recipes to try. This is someplace I can just jot down a recipe if someone tells me about it. Usually it's going to be like friends that tell me about them, and I can just jot them down here. Okay, so the next section is health. Oh wait, I'm still on home here. So this is a spring cleaning list that's not necessarily in the spring, but just like deep cleaning list that like ideas if I definitely need to do some cleaning and I have some time. Here's just ideas for me so I don't forget things. Okay, so the next section is health, and I have a list of supplements that I'm thinking about taking, and I don't know about you, but I do kind of research on health quite a bit, and I research different supplements and things that might help certain symptoms that I have or help my health in general. So these are the things that like I'm jotting down as ideas, and the things, obviously I check it off if I bought it or I'm taking it currently. TV shows to watch. This is obviously important, important information to have. These are ideas for TV shows that I want to start watching. And then over here are TV shows I have watched. Now this is like not an inclusive list because I know there's more. And also when I listed this, I was like, wow, how many hours of my life have I wasted watching TV? My God, but this is over years, but still, it feels like a lot. And I know there's TV shows that I have forgotten about. But the reason I like to keep this list is because I always have friends saying, I want to watch something on Netflix and I don't know what to watch next. Like, do you recommend anything? And I always sit there and think, what have I watched lately? This way I have it like in a list so I can pull out the list and look at the TV shows and then recommend something that I know that they would like out of this. So yeah, so I'm going to add more to this as I think of it, but this is actually, that's been helpful already. DNF means did not finish. And in some cases that means I'm going to go back and finish. In other cases that might mean that I didn't like it enough to finish. Here I have a list of rom-coms that I want to watch. Obviously you can have a movie list. I just made a rom-com list months ago because like rom-coms make me happy and it gives me something to watch that's like kind of brainless. And so I made a list of rom-coms I haven't seen yet that I want to watch. So that's that. But like I said, you can make a movie list. I typically don't make movie lists because there's so many movies I haven't seen. So all I have to do is go on Netflix and kind of just look and, oh, I haven't seen that one. Let me watch that. But you can always do like a regular movie list. Here I have books to read. This is definitely not an all-inclusive list, but these are some ideas. I know I just did a favorite authors sheet, and this is it. And this, I did a video on this if you guys watched that. But this is more like just the books that are like high on my priority list of books to read. And here we have my favorite beer list. Yes, because I never know like what to order when I'm out at a restaurant, and also what I have tried. Like this way I can at least glance at every once in a while and be like, oh yeah, that one I liked. So, and then if I find one I like when I go out, I just add it to this list. And then I know like next time I want to buy beer or anything, the kinds I like. And by the way, almost all of these are cloudy IPAs. I don't know if you like IPAs, but I do, but I love the cloudy ones the best because they're not as bitter and they're kind of citrusy and delicious. So if you're a beer person, there you go. Okay, so next section is travel. Here's trips I've taken in my lifetime. I think there's more to that, and this does not include like local weekend trips or anything like that, but this is mainly trips I've taken that required like airfare. So just, I don't know why I wrote this list. I guess I just want to remember back in case someone's like, hey, where'd you go that was good? Again, I can just pull out my list and be like, hey, you know, I really liked my trip to San Francisco. Of course, I usually remember this stuff in my head, but I think it's good to write these things down too. Here's a list of places I want to go. It's kind of like my bucket list travel list, and pretty much, I mean, I have more in my head, but these are like the main ones. So that's why I wrote these down here. List of makeup to try. Sometimes I'll watch like makeup tutorials and I'll write stuff down here. Oh yeah, we're in personal now. Gift ideas. I don't have anything for me here because I keep forgetting when I see something to come back and write it down. But that's where those would go. Here's some ideas for my kids. And then I have a morning routine and an evening routine. I think this is really important to have. Doing my best to follow it, but not like the evening routine. I almost follow everything. The morning routine is more difficult because we have like meditation and walking Bumble, and those are like really hard to get into the habit of doing every morning. So I'm working on it though. Okay, then I have a section for planner, and this is all I have in it so far, but these are video ideas for future videos, and that's like really helpful for me because of what I do. Obviously you probably won't have that. Okay, so like I said, there's not as many ideas or lists in here as I would like there to be yet, but I am filling it up as I go, and here I have a bunch of list ideas. So you can make a list of things to buy that is in your head. That way you can just get it all down on paper. Things that make me happy. That would be a fun list to refer to if you, like, for when you're just having a bad day. Like, look at your list. These things are, you know, puppies and sunny days and iced lattes, you know, those types of things. Body measurements, I think that's good to have. I want to do that. I do have some on my phone that I had written down, but as like kind of a progress thing, if you're trying to work out or lose weight, it just gives you like measurements by date so you can see how you've improved over time. I think that's important to make you accomplish your goals. Favorite wines, that's self-explanatory. I can never remember wines when I go to the liquor store, so that will help. I have to do before 55, so I'm 52 now. So I didn't want to put to do before I'm 60 because I felt like, whoa, like 60, what? I thought 55 is better because that gives me a few years to get things done. And I thought that was more attainable, and also like it just sounded better to me. Future goals, that's self-explanatory. Celebrities I've met. I know that most people won't have this list. I've met a lot of famous people over the years, and when people ask me like, hey, what celebrities have you met? I never can remember. Like, I can remember a couple of them, but I can't remember all of them. And I thought that would be really fun to have a list for that. Favorite music artists, weekend trip ideas. This is a good one because I love going away on like 3-day weekends, and there's so many places around me. I live in Pennsylvania near Philadelphia, and I live in an area where there's so much around me. I have like the shore. I've got New York and Washington DC, and like there's just Baltimore. There's just so many things around my area to do, and so many little towns that I'd like to visit. So I want to do that one. Gratitude list, that goes without saying. I put one in my planner every week, but I would like to have a really long list of everything I'm grateful for. So again, kind of back to things that make me happy. Whenever I'm feeling sad or feel sorry for myself, that's a really good list to look at. Favorite quotes, I've got a lot of those. Ways to make money, that's important. And what I mean by that is ways to make money at home, because I'm trying to have kind of like multiple streams of income. And there might be some things that I haven't thought of yet so once you start making a list, it kind of helps you like to jog your memory on things, or you might look things up as you're writing the list, and it might give you other ideas. Ways to relax, that's a good one in case you are really stressed and you're like, what should I do just to calm myself down? And then you can look at your list, like, you know, take a bath or meditate or whatever you need to do. Funny stories, I thought that would be interesting because sometimes, like, I don't know, like so many funny things have happened in my life, and I love to tell stories, but I can't always remember when I'm trying to think of a funny story to tell. Like, so I think that would be cool to have written down. Things I want to learn. I have a lot of things I want to learn. I have languages I want to learn. I want to learn more about history and about different cultures, and there's so many different things I want to learn, and whenever I have a free moment, I would like to read about them, but I can never remember when I'm sitting down thinking, so I think that would be a good one. Inside jokes would be fun, because if you have inside joke with somebody, it's really fun for a while, but you don't necessarily remember it your whole life. So I think that would be really fun to write them down, so that, you know, if you have a joke with one person, you can bring it up years later and say, remember that time? They might not even remember, but you have it written down, so you can tell it to them. Things to do when I'm bored, obviously, just to refer to when you have a few moments to kill. I'm hardly ever bored, but if I am, it would be nice to have like a couple of small things to do when I'm bored. Art ideas, mixed media, that's more for me for planner ideas, kind of just different ways to use paint, different ways to use different medias in my planner. Favorite color combos, this is also for planner for me, because it would be kind of cool if I don't have inspiration for the week to just to flip through to the color combo list and be able to just pull up, you know, oh yeah, I could do that color combo. Because sometimes if you don't have inspiration, a color combo is a good way to go. List of local places to visit. I think, like I said, there's a lot of cool places around here. Kind of goes back to the weekend trip ideas, but this is more of like museums and like, not restaurants because that's on the other page, but like museums and like wineries and different places like that that I haven't been to. I thought it would be good to have a list of those to refer to. Future home ideas, that would be for a house that I'm not in now, like decorating ideas or just ideas of the type of house I want, stuff like that. Healthy snacks, obviously a good one to have when you don't know what to eat and you want to reach for the bag of Cheetos, but you know you shouldn't, and oh no, what else should I eat? One good one I like to eat is I like to buy brown rice cakes, which are like the healthy kind, and then I put almond butter on the top, and then I slice bananas and put those on the top of the almond butter, and it's really good. And if I have like a craving for sweets, it usually satisfies it immediately, so that's good. Book ideas to write. I want to become an author one day, so that's ideas for my book. Okay. Hobbies to try. There's so many things I want to try, and I think that would be good to have just to refer to if you're just really trying to switch your hobbies or just get into something new. I think that would be fun. Instagram hashtags. I want to make a list of these for my planner Instagram, by the way, at Planning with Bumble. Yeah, shameless plug. Bullet journal ideas. This is also for my YouTube channel and for my planner, just ideas of pages to make for my planner. My kids' blood types, they're actually in my phone right now, but I want to put them in here. Car maintenance, an important list to keep so that I know when I last got an oil change and when I last serviced the car. Health symptoms, I have those in my phone as well. I'd like to transfer them. Any symptoms I have, I like to keep a list so that when I go to the doctor, I can pull it out and just, tell them what's going on. Because sometimes it's hard to remember all that when you're just sitting there. Exercises. So this is good, kind of goes along with the body measurement, but what I like to do is every once in a while, I like to see, okay, how many squats can I do in a row without stopping? How many sit-ups can I do? How many push-ups can I do? That kind of thing. And then you can measure your progress over time. So this would be by date. And I do have a couple of these dates in my phone already, but I'd like to do it every few months and then just keep track of that so I can see how I improve with my fitness goals. Paint color ideas. This is paint colors for the house. Ways to save money. obviously important. Favorite websites. Sometimes I have websites that I go to that are really cool, and then I forget about them, and I would love to go back sometime. And I do have bookmarks on my computer, but I think it would be fun to have a list of like websites that are really cool so I can refer to that. Restaurants to try from my area. Local fun date ideas, kind of the same type of thing, except this is like different things we could do around town. Monthly and yearly goals, that's pretty much a given, and that's something that I'll be doing bigger sheets in my planner on, but this would be just jotting down things like on the fly. Doctor and dentist appointments, keeping track of when I went to the doctor and when I went to the dentist last. Workout and fitness goals, and then planner spread ideas, which I already, oh, that's different than, for me, that's different than video ideas, because planner spread ideas is like inspiration for planner spreads. So I hope this gave you some ideas. In the description box below, you will see a link to a free printable where it'll be a whole bunch of ideas, mostly like all of these, and then maybe some more. Because if you're in a different stage of life than I am, like if you have little kids, or even if you have teenagers, or if you are young, say you're like a teenager yourself, I don't know, if it's gonna be like if you're in school, all of these different stages of life, you're gonna have different lists that you're gonna be putting in your planner. So I'll try to include some of those in the printable, but for the most part, like you're gonna have different lists than I'm gonna have. And that's just how it goes. But I'll try to give you as many ideas as I possibly can, and then you can go from there. So I hope this was helpful for you, and let me know in the comments down below if you have any other ideas for lists that I didn't cover here. And I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next time. Bye.